This is how I would rebook WrestleMania 30. Now, let me start off by saying WrestleMania 30 wasn't a bad WrestleMania. Very valid WrestleMania with a lot of memorable moments. But just for fun, why not? I'm going to do a rebooking of WrestleMania 30 of how I would have built the card. And you guys let me know in the comment section if you rock with the card that I'm going to rebuild it as. And if you want to see more rebooking of WrestleMania or WWE shows in general, you guys let me know in the comment section. Give me some suggestions and I got you guys. But before we start, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, share this video, and hope you guys enjoy. There are two matches on this card that I'm going to keep that I'm not going to change. One of them is the Divas Championship match, just because the Women's Revolution hadn't really started yet, so not going to change that one right there. And the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, I'm going to keep that as well, only because it was the first one they ever did, and it was the most important one they ever did. So they're all winning at that time was a really big thing, and I just wish they would have pushed him after that big win, because it was a pretty big deal at that time frame, but I'm going to keep those two matches. So we know the opening match for this WrestleMania was Triple H versus Daniel Bryan, one of the best opening WrestleMania matches of all time. But I am going to change this, and this is more of just a what if. I do believe this match was scheduled to happen at WrestleMania before everything went down, but I'm going to book Triple H versus CM Punk. I know CM Punk was out of WWE before this WrestleMania, so this is just a what if. This is just a fantasy booking. Obviously, CM Punk wasn't there. I know he wasn't there, but I'm just saying, let's just say CM Punk versus Triple H happened at this WrestleMania. I think a lot of fans would have really been into it at this time, because CM Punk and Triple H, you know, their storytelling, their promo battles in the ring together, they would have had a good match, I believe, and, you know, the kind of real life heat they kind of had against each other, you know, I think people kind of know now that CM Punk wasn't Triple H's biggest fan, and Triple H wasn't CM Punk's biggest fan either, but I mean, they bring all that tension into the ring for a storyline leading up to WrestleMania. I think a lot of people really would have bought into it. Once again, before y'all go crazy in the comments, I know CM Punk was not in WWE around this time, but I'm just saying, hypothetically, this is just a what if rebooking scenario. Let's say we had CM Punk versus Triple H at this WrestleMania. This next match, I still can't believe, kind of baffled that this match didn't happen at this WrestleMania, because WWE had the perfect opportunity to make this match happen at this WrestleMania. The Shield versus the Wyatt family. They booked this match to happen literally the pay-per-view before WrestleMania at Elimination Chamber, and they had an incredible match at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, but I mean, this match literally would have been perfect for that WrestleMania, because it was right there in the palm of our hands. All WWE had to do was just wait another month and then book it for WrestleMania 30 that year, and it would have been incredible. I think the atmosphere for the Wyatt family versus the Shield at WrestleMania 30 would have been top tier. Not only were they the two and most popular factions in the WWE at this time, but this was a WrestleMania worthy match to me. Like, this had WrestleMania written all over it, so I definitely would book the Wyatt family versus the Shield at WrestleMania 30. This next one, just imagine this, right? Batista comes back to WWE, but he never wins the Royal Rumble, because he really had no business winning that Royal Rumble anyway. That was Daniel Bryan's Royal Rumble to win, but they gave it to Batista. Just imagine though, Batista comes back. He doesn't, you know, go after the World Championship or anything. Instead, at WrestleMania, we get Batista versus Brock Lesnar. The Animal versus the Beast. Just think about that. Probably the two most intense superstars from the Ruthless Aggression era. The Animal versus the Beast. Batista versus Brock Lesnar, that would have been so fire if you ask me. Like, Batista coming back in 2014 was really cool, but they really booked him in so many ways that was just poorly for him, which is why I think he got rejected and booed. If you'd have brought Batista back as a surprise where nobody really knew, and then you matched him up against somebody like Brock Lesnar for a big WrestleMania match, the Animal versus the Beast, that's money right there in my opinion. This next one, this next one could have went down as one of the biggest WrestleMania matches of all time. Just imagine John Cena challenging the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. You gotta remember, this was also around the time when Undertaker, he still had a little bit of gas left in the tank, and John Cena was still around full time in WWE. And by the time WWE gave us John Cena versus the Undertaker, it was years later. Undertaker was a lot older, John Cena wasn't around much anymore, and they gave us a freaking squash match. They gave us a squash match between Undertaker and John Cena after years of waiting for this match at WrestleMania. And it's crazy to think that John Cena and Undertaker never really had a big program when both guys were at the top of their game in the peak of their careers around in WWE. Two of the biggest and greatest WWE superstars of all time, and there's so many scenarios you could have done with this booking. Like, what if they had John Cena finally turn heel and defeat The Undertaker and beat the streak at WrestleMania? Can you imagine the heel heat that Cena would have got that night? This would have been probably bigger than Hulk Hogan turning heel at Bash at the Beach in 1996. Like, if John Cena had turned heel to defeat The Undertaker's streak at WrestleMania, bro, the reactions would have been crazy. Or you could have had Undertaker keep the streak and he could have beat John Cena in a hard fought battle. You can't go wrong with that one either. But I definitely think WWE, they fumbled the bag by not having this match, or at least just a program between these two when they both were in the primes of their careers, at the top of their game. And WrestleMania 30, I think, would have been the perfect time to have that match. John Cena challenging The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania would have been monumental. In the big main event, Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE World Heavyweight titles. I mean, this to me was the right main event to happen at WrestleMania 30, a one-on-one match between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. Daniel Bryan's ultimate underdog storyline against the Authority, one of the best WWE storylines of that era, hands down. Think about it, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton makes the most sense to be the WrestleMania main event that year. When Daniel Bryan won the WWE Championship at SummerSlam in 2013 after beating John Cena, who was the guy that cashed in his Money in the Bank and took the WWE Championship from him because of the help of the Authority? It was Randy Orton. Who was the one guy the Authority wanted to represent them as their top guy, as their face of the WWE, the one guy they looked at and said, you know what, he's our guy, we're going to label him as our top guy and as our champion. It was Randy Orton. Every time Daniel Bryan had to battle for the WWE Championship, who was the one guy he had to go through and defeat? It was Randy Orton. At SummerSlam, Triple H not only turned on Daniel Bryan, but he helped Randy Orton win the WWE Championship that night, helping him cash in Money in the Bank, and that was pretty much the birth of the Authority. Then at Night of Champions, Daniel Bryan defeated Randy Orton to win back the WWE Championship, but then the next night on Raw, they screwed Daniel Bryan again because they said the referee counted too fast, so they relinquished and took the WWE Championship from him. And then at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view with Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee, Daniel Bryan got screwed again when Shawn Michaels superkicked Daniel Bryan to help Randy Orton retain the WWE Championship. I would have just had Daniel Bryan win the 2014 Men's Royal Rumble. Like, I know by keeping him out of that Rumble, it did kind of add on to the story for him to overcome all the odds at WrestleMania and everything, but the 2014 Rumble was his Rumble to win. I would have just had Daniel Bryan come in at number 1 in the Royal Rumble, and like literally impossible for him to win, right? Coming in at number 1, he overcomes all the odds, still wins the Men's Royal Rumble. He goes on to WrestleMania to face Randy Orton. You still get YesLMania. He beats Randy Orton to win the championship. Everybody's yesing, everybody's still happy. You still get the same results, just Batista's not involved in the storyline because there was really no point for Batista to even be involved in that entire storyline. So that's my rebooking card of WrestleMania 30. I would have kept the Divas Championship match. I would have kept the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, but I would have had CM Punk versus Triple H, Brock Lesnar versus Batista, The Shield versus the Wyatt family, John Cena challenging the Undertaker streak at WrestleMania, and the big main event, Randy Orton defending his WWE World Heavyweight titles against Daniel Bryan. Let me know how you all feel about this rebooking. If you want me to do more rebooking shows, let me know. Make sure you guys go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to Instagram, TikTok, all my other social media platforms, NarcolepsyBoy94. And, you know, I think this WrestleMania 30, if this had been the official WrestleMania 30 card, in my opinion, it could have went down, if you ask me, as the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Just looking at the card overall, I mean, CM Punk versus Triple H, that would have been an incredible story and a most anticipating match right there. You have Batista versus Brock Lesnar, the Animal versus the Beast, The Shield versus the Wyatt family, the two biggest and most over factions in WWE around this time frame. John Cena is challenging The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania, and then you have Daniel Bryan facing Randy Orton in the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight titles. If that was the WrestleMania card right there, honestly, I would have paid $100 to see it.